In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, hello everyone, and welcome to this edition of our Ryan in English News with me, Nima Chitsas. Iranian president says the Iranian people may travel within provinces as of April 12 and travel to other provinces as of April 20. Umid Haydari has more.
Speaking at a meeting of the National Coronavirus Headquarters on Sunday, President Hassan Rouhani said low-risk businesses will resume work in the capital Tehran as of April 18th. He said these businesses can start work while abiding by relevant health protocols, adding as part of the smart social distancing plan, low-risk businesses have already resumed work in all provinces other than Tehran as of April 11th. The president said businesses which are resuming work are required to register on a website specified for the same purpose by the health ministry. President Rouhani further said Iran is in better conditions in dealing with the coronavirus outbreak compared to Europe, although the country is struggling against the virus of sanctions. At the same time, the president reiterated the success has been achieved because the Iranian people, its armed forces, artists, and Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting have joined hands in this fight. He said Iran and Europe are both grappling with the coronavirus, but Iranians are struggling with another virus, namely the sanctions as well. Elsewhere, in his remarks, President Rouhani said the health restrictions in Iran will be held in place until eradication of the COVID-19, saying religious gatherings and rituals will probably be cancelled in the holy months of Ramadan, which will begin on April 25th. He added, if the situation remains the same as today, social gatherings in Ramadan will be called off and people could use the IRIB and social networks to perform their religious rites.
Head of Iran's Health Ministry's Public Relations Office has confirmed 117 new deaths caused by the coronavirus, increasing the death toll to 4,474. According to Kianush Jahanpur, 1,657 new cases of infection were confirmed in the last 24 hours, raising the overall number to 71,686. He said 43,894 patients have so far recovered and been discharged from hospitals. Iran has taken numerous steps to stop the spread of the disease, ranging from shutting down schools and universities to canceling cultural and religious gatherings. It is also constantly disinfecting and sanitizing public places. Elsewhere, the Health Ministry's spokesman said the COVID-19 antibody diagnosis test and its rapid test were produced in Iran and will be available soon. Kianush Jahanpur said, thanks to the efforts made by Iranian knowledge-based companies and technologists, the COVID-19 antibody diagnosis test and coronavirus rapid test will be available soon. He added, these methods are cheap and comprehensive and will facilitate implementation of smart social distancing plan during the upcoming weeks. The development came weeks after the Iranian government issued an emergency authorization for expediting a clinical trial process for designing and producing coronavirus test kits. Here's more.
This is Pishdaz TEP company. The Iranian knowledge-based company can make 100,000 coronavirus test kits per week and plans to up that to more than 800,000 per month when it starts working around the clock. According to the Iranian vice president, 3 types of test kits are also destined for export as the global pandemic sends demand soaring.
Pishdaz TEB is one of 6 Iranian companies whose COVID-19 diagnostic tests are being used in the country, where a huge trace, test and treatment effort appears to have brought the epidemic under control. There are 3 types of kits, and they can diagnose the disease very accurately within hours. It was first designed and manufactured by our science-based companies.
The government has issued an emergency authorization for the use of these test kits, expediting a clinical trial process that usually takes many months to complete in these critical times. That speed was a key factor in the country's rapid scaling up of its testing program, a result of its painful experience in dealing with unilateral sanctions imposed by the United States.
These kits comply with the Ministry of Health protocols. The factory is ramping up production of kits that could be crucial to the government's antivirus efforts. Treatment for the virus begins with accurate diagnosis. I have been in the diagnostic industry for many years, and I have never felt such a strong determination on the work here amid U.S. restrictions.
More than 50 knowledge-based and technological firms announced a readiness to produce test kits, of which 6 were selected and permitted by the Health Ministry to start production. According to the officials, these companies are set to put their coronavirus test kits to international markets over the next few months. Iran has been the hardest hit country by the new coronavirus in the Middle East. It has been almost on its own fighting the disease, as U.S. sanctions have hampered its access to drugs and vital medical equipment needed to contain the pandemic. Ghaman Nadiri, Press TV, Tehran.
Iran's first vice president said on Sunday that the United States' unilateral sanctions against Tehran also include restrictions on essential goods highly required by the country. Esal Jahangiri made the remarks speaking during a ceremony in Tehran to introduce the new Minister of Agricultural Jihad, Kazem Khavazi, who recently won the vote of confidence from the Iranian parliament to gain the post. He said, although the U.S. sanctions seemingly make no problem for Iran to purchase its essential items, such as wheat, banking exchanges for the imports of such items are impossible due to restrictions caused by the U.S. sanctions. Jahangiri added, while they claim the sanctions do not impose any restrictions on the imports of drugs and medical supplies, different countries say they will be questioned by the U.S. if they export medicine to Iran. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps IRGC spokesperson announced on Sunday that the IRGC commanders have taken part in a countrywide exercise launched by Basij, codenamed Devout Help, after the leader of the Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, stressed the need for helping the needy ahead of the holy month of Ramadan. General Ramazan Sharif said, all IRGC commanders have decided to donate 20% of their salaries to the people who have lost their jobs due to the outbreak of the coronavirus. The donation of 20% of the monthly incomes will continue until the coronavirus crisis ends in Iran. Now, the COVID-19 coronavirus is affecting 210 countries and territories around the world. So far, there are 1,838,300 active coronavirus cases, out of which 113,329 people have died and 421,764 people have recovered. Here's more.
According to data compiled by the United States Johns Hopkins University, there are 545,934 cases of COVID-19 recorded so far in the U.S., making it the country with the most cases. The U.S. has also the highest number of deaths with 21,474, followed by Italy with 19,899 and Spain with 16,972. Italy, which recorded its first deaths in late February, has had the most fatalities with 19,899 from 156,363 infections. Spain has recorded 16,972 fatalities from 166,019 infections. France has reported 14,393 deaths and 132,591 infections, followed by Britain with 10,612 deaths and 84,279 cases. China, excluding Hong Kong and Macau, has to date declared 3,339 deaths and 82,052 cases, with 77,575 recoveries. Europe has listed 878,978 cases and 76,415 deaths to date. North America has 583,000 3,085 cases with 22,792 deaths. Asia has 297,323 cases and 10,976 deaths. The Middle East has 95,005 cases and 4,632 deaths. Latin America and the Caribbean, 56,888 cases with 2,344 deaths. Africa, 14,667 cases with 773 deaths. And Australia and New Zealand, totally 7,730 cases with 63 deaths. Despite the rising number of the COVID-19 cases, most who contract the virus suffer mild symptoms before making a recovery.
The head of Yemen's Supreme Revolutionary Committee said the commitments of the Saudi aggressors to Yemen for holding a ceasefire must be written and be approved by the United Nations. In response to the demand of the UN Special Envoy for Yemen, Martin Griffiths, to accept a ceasefire, Mohammed Ali al-Houthi stressed the establishment of peace. 3 days after the announcement of the so-called ceasefire in Yemen, Griffiths proposed a new peace offer to Ansarullah and the resigned government of the Saudi-backed Abd Rabba Mansour Hadi. Griffiths' new proposal comes 3 days after the Saudi coalition announced a 2-week ceasefire at the pretext of fighting against the spread of the coronavirus. But the ceasefire has been repeatedly shattered by the coalition. Earlier, Ansarullah called on the UN and its Security Council to act for stopping the Saudi coalition's war in Yemen so it could counter the coronavirus outbreak. Hours after his request, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres asked for an immediate global ceasefire in all corners of the world. Yemen has reported its first coronavirus case in a southern province, raising fears of the catastrophic consequences in a healthcare system affected negatively by 5 years of Saudi-led coalition war. Iran's foreign minister has stressed the importance of strengthening unity among Afghanistan's various parties and establishing peace and stability in the country. In a Sunday phone call with Muhammad Hanif Atmar, the acting foreign minister of Afghanistan, Mohammad Javad Zarif, said relations between Tehran and Kabul should be promoted in all fields. Earlier this week, Zarif held separate phone conversations with Afghan President-elect Ashraf Ghani and his rival Abdullah Abdullah on issues of common interest. The Iranian minister also highlighted political structures based upon Afghanistan's constitution as the pivot of the country's peace and national reconciliation process. Zarif also reaffirmed the Islamic Republic's support for the peace process in Afghanistan with the participation of all Afghan political groups within the framework of the constitution. And on that note, we come to a wrap of this edition of IRIN English News. Join us tomorrow with the latest updates. Till then, take care and have a very great time. Goodbye now.